I have tried to record this video, or I have done. I think this is maybe the third or fourth attempt. So, Thundercats Roar. I tried to do a live reaction. I ate popcorn. I realized I hate eating on camera because all you hear is and then me going, and I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hated it. Thundercats Roar, oh dear God, is complete and utter garbage. In fact, I rage. I still am angry about this. Now, I want you to remember what this guy said.
This show is all about praise and love of the original. So as a fan, I will say that this is the Thundercats show that I want. This is the Thundercats show that I want, that I want, that I want.
I'm going to briefly give my thoughts on it, but I'm also going to be watching it on the screen, kind of pausing it and talking about what I think is definitely wrong. The main thing in this is the animation style for this is completely wrong. I think that the tone that they've tried to go for, as well as what it's meant to be, is definitely not the best. So they've gone for the sort of style of OKKO, and then obviously you have Steven Universe, and then you have other shows like Gumball, and then Adventure Time and stuff. The animation style to this is completely wrong, and it doesn't set the tone of Thundercats. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, but Thundercats this, blah, 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 new age and stuff like that. And I'm like, fine. You think that, cool. You do you. But the way that this show is an insult to the original. They follow the same sort of pattern, so it's not like the 2010 or 2011 reboot, which was so much better than this. A lot of people turn around and will say, yeah, this is different. This is built for a different time. But I do feel like this is a massive middle finger to the fans. I feel like this is a horrible, horrible thing that the guy who turned around and said stuff like, when he was younger, this is the Thundercats that he wanted. I'm going to call bullshit on that. I'm sorry, but that is fucking grade A bullshit on this. Gonna try and keep my swearing down because don't want to be demonetized. But this is grade A freaking BS all over the place. Mainly because back then, you probably weren't thinking, oh, let's make this funny. Let's make this let's make it so great. It doesn't work. It's just the intro. Let alone this, it's called Exodus, which is the very first episode of Thundercats in the original. So fair dues, they copied that. Now the music, I will say the music is perfect in this because it's the stuff from the 80s. It's the actual songs that they used in the original series, and it suited it very well. It was perfect. This, on the other hand, either mashes them up, as in places them with different things. So say, for example, you have Snarf. Snarf's thing is very, very kind of clumsy. It's very kind of silly. Whimsical, maybe. So they put it in the wrong areas, say Mum-Ra is talking, or the Thundercats are kind of going woo all the time. And this pokes fun at pretty much everything that Thundercats was. I know there's going to be another news article that my friend talked about that I want to actually talk about as well. So, first of all, the intro. The intro, from what this guy said, was it's going to be iconic. Fair dues, maybe that they didn't want to put it in just yet, and thus therefore it's going to come out much, much later on, and we're going to see the one that they premiered the animation for, which again is not iconic to what the original was, because the original is so good. It is so good. It may not be as great as it was for standards now, but it was decent at the time, and I feel like they're going to poke fun at it, and he does say this.
The original Thundercats intro is animation history gold. It's a challenge by the original show. If you're gonna do a new Thundercats, you better make the intro good.
Gotta get good. You gotta make sure it's the best. So basically in this one, you get a lovely kind of introduction to what Thundera is, but the way that goes, everything's got to explode sometime. Why do you have to do it? You could have literally said, well, it explodes, or it went boom, and then kind of not be like, well, everything's got to explode sometime. The one thing that really gets to me is the fact that when you see the Thundercats on the ship, it looks like they're going through a joyride. I can understand if they went, Thundercats left their home to go on a joyride, but the planet blew up. You kind of think that maybe they'd be a bit sad in the animation, but they're not. It's just so bad. Even Tigra, he looks like, I don't know, he looks like clay. Like someone just molded his face out of clay and just gone, boom. It then gives you some sort of thing of like these character cards. And I absolutely hate them because it gives you like the kind of D&D roleplay. That I don't mind. But it's like skills. So Lionel, dancing, swords, showboating. Literally Lionel back in the day never had this. Even in the reboot, never had that. So again, is it this sort of thing where you're meant to try and make it sound funny to the kids, to the audience, that you're hitting this? And again, literally, I don't think any Thundercat fan asked for this. They did not ask for anything of this. Like Tigra, his skills are chores and spreadsheets because, you've got to make him look like the boring one, the character that you don't want. Panthro, his skills are crafting, hugs, and a thumb war. And even in the thing, it's like, he builds stuff and got nunchucks. It annoys me. It just freaking annoys me. Chitara. The only thing I will agree, I find it funny a little bit, is it says skills, fancy footwork, sick burns, evasion. Sick burns, I don't know why. Thinking about it, it's kind of okay. It just says speed, soft. But you reference her as the fastest person in the entire universe. Wily Kit and Wily Cat don't have them, and Snarf is a robot. The fuck is that? What the frick is up with that? You then have Jarga. Jarga's like, who am I? Well, I'm Jarga. I'm now a ghost. Woo! It's that sort of humor that doesn't need to be in this. This is one thing that just irritates me. I know he's gonna pop up in Thundercats and he's gonna scare Lion-O, and Lion-O's gonna be like, ooh, all of them are gonna like crap their pants, and they're gonna be like, ooh, just literally the frick. So we get to the point on the planet where the Thundercats have crash landed, and that's fine. But then you have like Panther busting out, going like, blah. Then you have the Thunderkittens going like, yeah, let's do it again, and you're like, come on, seriously. And then you've got Tigra and Chitara. Feels like an insult, like you've taken the tropes of the originals and reversed them, where Chitara was a kind and loving character. And the first things you hear from Chitara is like, what's the point of being the best Thundercat if there are no fans? Your entire planet just blew up. Your entire planet just literally blew up. And what the hell? You're also introduced to Lion-O.
I could have sworn Tigra was right here.
And the way that they've made him is either the loudmouth, he is not what he used to be. It's like, I'm going this way, whoopsie, whoopsie, that sort of thing.
That was amazing! I'm doing leading! Woohoo!
It just really angers me. The fact is that they kind of take this amazing cartoon and they just either shit on it completely. So they tried to apply this sort of humor where the mutants turn up and they're about to like attack the Thundercats. And then he's like this whole like, yeah. And then all of a sudden just throw it like that. So it's meant to be kind of, it builds up the suspense and then it's a funny move. And it literally isn't. Now, there's a scene where the mutants are attacking Wily Cat. And he's trying to make some sort of pun or something, or try and be kind of ha ha ha. And then all of a sudden he just runs and it's just such bad animation. It's really weird and it just doesn't go with what they're trying to do. Everything has to be amazing to Lion-O. Oh my god, like, oh, it's amazing! And it just really kind of irritates me because Lino doesn't need to be this loud. He doesn't need to be to the point where he's screaming in people's faces or trying to make like people laugh. It's very forced comedy. In the same sort of scene, Lino turns around and tells like the Thundercats what to do. And then they're like, yeah, cool. And then he's like, that's it, I'm leaving. And you're like, you don't need this. You don't need to make this character kind of over embellish on things. And again, if this is what the guy says,
this is the Thundercats show that I want.
And he wants Thundercats just to be like this, or this is the Thundercats he wished for back when he was younger. You didn't know at all. This sort of comedy wasn't around at the time, and you've taken a great franchise and you've just crapped all over it. Okay, so kind of wrapping this video up because it's way too long. So a joke that's overplayed in this all the time, which was never funny, was simply when anyone that says Mum-Ra's name gets hit by lightning. And you know, it wasn't funny the first time, and it isn't funny the 7th or 8th time, whatever, that they do it. It kind of feels, and this is kind of maybe looking too much into it, that the Burbles, and they actually know, they do actually mention it. Mum-Ra says like, oh, apparently the Burbles have the thing for it. It feels like maybe that's their thing. They like saying the name and being hit by lightning because either whatever. And I feel like that sort of joke doesn't need to be in Thundercats or anything like this. It's just so overused and something that doesn't need to be done at all, because I know that's going to be a thing that they're going to do all the way through. Oh no, we've said his name, lightning hits. Kind of another joke that is overused is Lino asks where the mutants are to all the animals, and it's so overplayed. It's like, tell me where the mutants are. And the thing is, these animals, even if they knew, probably don't know what a mutant is. So this whole thing is completely pointless. It's just an overdone joke. And then when the mutants actually arrive, it's like, oh, there you are. They get in their ship and they actually start attacking. And Lino just goes, oh, well, you know, this is what Thundercats do. And he starts going, woo, 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 all the time. And it's just like, oh, you've taken this one of the greatest leaders in all of animation history, and you've just completely reduced him down to a goddamn joke. No, seriously, it's just a goddamn joke. Oh, this show is complete and utter trash. The second episode is very kind of, it concludes on what happens in the first one. Lino has found Mum-Ra, who he refers to as Bum-Ra, because that's the kiddish nature of him, and he thinks that this is going to make people laugh and stuff. He gets tied up. Mum-Ra then goes in his giant form and he goes and attacks the Thundercats, but then gets beaten by the Burbles because they all jump onto him and say his name, and the lightning hits and stuff. And a bit of a fight kind of jumps out because, you know, everyone is being tied up, everyone's being beaten by it. One thing is at the very, very end of the episode is you see all the Thundercats laugh at Mum-Ra because he's turned back into his kind of mummy mode, you know, the first stage of Mum-Ra. But he looks like someone from Terrence and Phillip. Like, literally, you look at it, and then you can imagine him going like, I'm not your buddy, guy, and I'm not your friend, Thundercats. Oh God, that's literally how I see this, and it royally pisses me off. The fact is that the original Mum-Ra was goddamn scary. It had me scared as I was a kid, and I absolutely loved the show. You know, the name Mum-Ra really kind of like, oh God, Mum-Ra's here. But now it's like, Mum-Ra, you're like, that's a joke. Another thing that kind of really gets me is the iconic Thundercats host. When he says that, you know, that's when the symbol shows from the Eye of Thundera, and then that's it, you know, that's when things are going down. But when Linus goes, thunder, thunder, notices the sword extend, and he goes, thunder, 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 and makes a giant sword where he's only onto it.
What was that magic sword word again? Oh yeah! Thunder! 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 Thunder? Thunder, 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 thunder!
And then that's how he defeats Mum-Ra in the end, and his doomstick and stuff. And you just literally go, why? The next step in this as well is that you get this kind of hearty thing at the end, like you do in Thundercats, where it's like, I'm sorry, Tiger, I didn't mean to do this. I've got to be a better Thundercat. And it's just, no, I remember those life lessons at the end of Thundercats, and this one just seems like they are taking the piss. Like, Tiger is gonna be the bitch of the series, where he's gonna be the, haha, you can't do this, I am the strict one, oh wait, no, no. And it really gets to me, it really does. In this sort of animation as well, it doesn't look consistent whatsoever. There's also a scene near the end where Lino has the Sword of Omens, and it looks ridiculously small, it looks tiny. But then when in the next scene, it looks like it should be full size.
Defeated the biggest bad guy on the planet, and now stand victorious on the front lawn of our amazing new home!
This whole show is a massive mistake. No one asked for this, no one wanted it, and I reckon that they were gonna lose the rights after a certain amount of time, so they had to make it after the reboot. This show is, again, an abomination. This is not a love letter to the fans. This isn't a thing where, it's hard to say, it isn't a thing where this is meant to be a tribute to Thundercats. This is a mistake. The guy also mentioned in that preview, whatever, is that he saw the animation style and that's what made him get into animation. I think you watched Steven Universe. I think you watched Star and the Forces of Evil. I reckon you watched all of this sort of thing and gone, I can make a quick buck out of that. Let's take Thundercats, let's combine it, and there we go. This to me is a massive middle finger to the fans. I feel like Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers came down and was just like, we want Thundercats, do it like this, make it funny like Teen Titans Go, and then boom. This is not a parody, this is just a massive, massive mistake. This is an insult, and it feels like Thundercats never gets the love. The original, and then obviously you had the 2011 or 2010 version, which was good. But again, there were things behind the scenes, which I will talk about in another video, which I've seen. But yeah, this to me feels like it is the worst mistake someone's done. I absolutely hate it. And I know it's not gonna get better. Am I gonna review it? Yes. Am I gonna put myself through torture? Yes. But I don't see this getting any better. You know, even looking at the animation, like even on the symbols on their like belts and their chests and stuff, there's nothing. It's just gems. There's nothing. It looks horrible. Snarf being a robot, what the frick is that wrong with that? But yeah, I'm just not liking it whatsoever. I think this is horrible and I hope this gets cancelled. And I hate saying that because I want more people to fall in love with Thundercats. I want people to remember the original or the reboot, not this abomination. Now, I know that I'm gonna get in the comments, oh, you move on, it's not for you, it's something different, blah, 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 something along the lines of that. But then I just want you to think about one thing. Take something that you love, that you're passionate about, something from your childhood, something that you like now, whatever, and then do it like this. Just something ruins it. Something makes a mockery out of it. That's the sort of thing that you need to be thinking about. When people turn around and say, oh, get over it, blah, 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 it's actually more of a, can you put up a decent argument? Can you actually turn around and talk to me properly on this one? Or is that particularly it? To me, I find this as an insult. And this is very hard. I never get offended. This offends me. This really does offend me. That's the reason why I'm making a video on it. But it does offend me on this. Yeah. So this needs to be cancelled. So Thunderians, what are your thoughts? Do you like this sort of style? Are you okay with Thundercats Roar? Or would you like something else? Let me know down below in the comments. And what's your favorite moments from the original, as well as the reboot that they did, or the second version of it? Let me know down below in those comments. If you like this video, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also the cheeky notification bell. Forgot that. The cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And as always, Thunderians, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
As a fan, I will say that this is the Thundercats show that I want. So hopefully you do too.